What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the No Home Thoughts Podcast. So far, I'm your host. I'm Ryan. Brian will be here shortly. But on today's episode, we're going to talk about the biggest complaint that you can have in your relationship. Start things off is, I think, and I'm just basing it off of what women have told me. I think one of the biggest complaints women can have is communication. Men don't communicate
lies
as much when it comes to their feelings or just things in general.
Yeah.
From a man's standpoint, I think, I don't know. What would be my biggest complaint?
Oh, man. You could do better than that, right?
Well, I don't know. I really don't have no big complaints.
I think you got some.
Nah.
Oh, okay. Well, my biggest complaint is, I would say women owning responsibility. That's one. Because the thing that I'm going to say is that this is not just about how I feel. I was running a little late, y'all, so give me a second to get myself together. But I would say, like I said, just taking responsibility of things that happen. So if they messed up, just own it and you move on for it. They always got an excuse. And for the most part, what I hear, this is just not coming from me. This is multiple men. Women just don't own their responsibilities or their parts that they did wrong. That's one. Another one is, I would say, not enough women that's submissive to their man. So, you got women out here that I'm gonna say that's an independent woman, a woman, and they're not allowing a man to be a man. And a lot of times they hit a rock in the road because they just letting the woman, letting the man do whatever he wants. And the woman just kind of, hold on one second. Trying to get my stuff up. Oh, here we go. It's still cut off a little bit. Damn, I look good in this shirt. Well, while I'm not talking, you can talk, brother.
You just stopped in the middle of talking.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get myself together. Yeah, since you don't have nothing to say, because for what reason. But, okay, so this just throwing me off because I came late and I'm just trying to start based off of making sure everything is lined up.
Yeah, so as far as women not taking responsibility, what do you mean not taking responsibility?
You want to ask me?
What do you mean?
Well, women, so they don't take responsibility, meaning, like I already just explained, if you did something that was wrong, then own it. Or even if, I said women.
Okay.
So even if you don't accept it, or even if it was actually the man's fault, just to keep peace, Just accept it, move on from it. It's not a big deal. Life goes on. So if it's who left the TV on last night, who cares? To be completely honest, who cares who left the TV on? If it was you or not, you could just say, well, I did it. It's still cut off.
I don't think, but if you didn't do it, why you gotta take responsibility?
It's called peace.
Yeah, but I don't think that's taking responsibility, because
It's called
responsibility is something you did. You're responsible for.
Well, that's why I said from the beginning, if they done it or if they didn't, it doesn't matter.
No,
I said it doesn't matter. I said
even the man did it.
no. I said it wouldn't matter regardless. If she did it or if she didn't, it doesn't matter. Just own it if you did it, and let's just move on. That's what I said.
Yeah, you lost me on that, because you said if she did or didn't. If she didn't do it, she didn't do it. Ain't nothing to take responsibility for it if you didn't do it. If you did it, take responsibility for it. I'm not taking responsibility for something I ain't do.
So you see, I'm trying to get myself together.
When somebody says too many women trying to be a man,
There you go.
I'm married and I'm submissive to my husband. I would say so. I think, as you said, when it comes to independent women, once you get into a relationship with them, it's hard to break the. Well, hold on, I don't want to say break them. It's hard for them to break their habits of being an independent woman. I'm gonna say it like that, because they're so used to doing things their way, on their time, how they feel like it. So when you get in a relationship with them, like, especially if they have a man who's got a strong personality and is a type A personality, you gotta submit to them, because they're the head of the household. Especially if that was the whole reason you wanted to get into a relationship.
Right. Well, for me, I was just giving an example because I was actually trying to work something at the same time. But for me, and that thought of her taking responsibility, like I said, if something is done, if we don't know who did it or not, it really doesn't matter, because it's so minute. If it's who left the TV on, who gives a goddamn who turns the TV off? If I say I did it, it doesn't matter. If she says okay, I did it, even though she didn't do it, who cares? It's not going to hurt anything. Life goes on. So just turn the TV off. Okay, it's times that I done it. It's times that I said, that's my bad, I did that. That's my fault. That's my fault. But it was clearly that she did it. It's not a big deal. Let's just move on from it. That's one. The other thing is, women get comfortable in the relationship completely. A lot of women get comfortable and they just automatically just used to the norm. Meaning, if you got a man, when you first met him, first year, now you was cooking, y'all was going out, y'all was doing all the things that y'all love to do. Now, within let's say the second and third year, you stop doing it. And then you act like, oh, you just being yourself. Or you just getting used to that person. Oh, I'm just getting comfortable with you. No, you still have to do the same things that you was doing to get that man from the very beginning. So that's another one. And I think the main thing, the very, very main thing is sex. Women is not giving up enough sex. And that's one of the biggest complaints. That is maybe the number one complaint right now when it comes from a man. Well, from the men that I know. From the men that I know, and they talk to me, their main thing is the women's sex drive is not as strong as the woman. I mean, the man. So they complain, and then, of course, that starts a whole nother story. But that's what goes on. So that was 3 things that I said. And I wish a woman call up here. Somebody call up here.
And another one probably is money. What about the money? It depends on the relationship, because you might have got a woman and she's used to a certain lifestyle. Because when we had the conversation about why women aren't giving up sex, that was a complaint that we heard. Like, she might not be happy because financially things aren't the way they want to be. But I think a lot of it leads back to sex.
Well,
and everything in the beginning, the sex mixed with getting complacent in a relationship. Because y'all women know, when y'all first got with that man, you was top notch. You bought a new outfit, had the matching bra and panties, everything. Year or two later, you got the laundry day drawers on with the elastic coming out, orange panties, purple bra. You ain't fixing yourself up like you used to, and especially when you do fix yourself up, is to go out with your girls.
My question is, why is it that women don't? Because this is coming from a man, so I can't say what women complaints are. Well, I can say some things. Well, okay, so let me just talk about some things that I hear from a woman perspective. So some things that I hear is that we don't listen. We are the number one people, like, we just don't listen. Okay. We don't care about anything. We not sensitive, like, to some of the needs that they stress to us. Our communication is terrible. I mean, at the same time, that's one of my biggest problems, like in my communication. So sometimes it's just a debate based off how I talk. Sometimes I talk too much slang. So sometimes my wife can't catch it. And I think that's fine. But after some point in time, you have to step up to understand what I'm saying if you want to be in this. You know what I mean? You can't keep saying, well, I just don't understand you, and that's cut off. You got to learn a person. You know, you can't just say, oh, well, you talk English. No, just understand that person, his terms or his slang, and grow from that point from right there.
Let me chime in real quick. For those who want to know, that phone number is 267-797-7868. If anybody want to call in, once again, the phone number is 267-797-7868. And I would say communication is another, like I said, complaints from the woman's side, communication and sensitivity. Because, you know, growing up, you know, when you were a boy, you know, you do certain things, you was like, yo, stop crying, stop acting like a girl. And like your uncles, your older brothers, your dad, whoever raised you, they harden you a little bit and you become a little bit less sensitive to feelings and stuff like that. I'm going to say in a lot of relationships I've been in, like, crying is a big thing.
Oh, you've been in a lot of relationships, brother?
Crying is a big thing.
Man, you've probably been in one relationship.
Crying is a big thing. So when I see a woman crying, I'm not really...
Don't emphasize with an S and you only been in one relationship.
What are you doing?
I'm just telling, like, that you said relationship, so that's pretty much you trying to speak off experience, and I don't think that's coming by experience. You just talking.
I'll just let you finish.
Go ahead, man.
I'll just let you finish the story.
Oh, well, I don't know the story.
So, some men can be insensitive.
That's a story? Insensitive, that's a story? Okay, well, so is there any women that's out there that have issues? What is their complaints? Like, what is something? Y'all can type it up because I can see it now. Like, I can see it live. What is it? What is it? Tell me something that a man do that women don't like. I just gave some just based off of what I know of. Talking to women. And a lot of this stuff happened because being in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, and y'all not together for like a long-term relationship. So yeah, you 9 times out of 10 you have a lot of problems just like this. So I was just talking to a young lady today, and one of the things that she was just talking about was like something that her baby father disagreed with. Well, she disagreed with her baby father was doing, and the baby father was disagreeing with what she was doing. Now, if they both called up to the show, they both would say that's an issue, but it's not. It's just that the two people that's just not together, and they just pretty much just hating on. They just fighting for, I would say, the power for the kid. Like whoever had the more percentage of the who make the better choices for the kid. You live with the mom, so the mom pretty much got all the say so. But she made it seem like what his decision was a problem. So if she was to call into the show, she'd be saying, well, I don't like him doing this. And I'm like, well, that's not really a problem. That's
while he's with her, while he's with them, or the child?
Well, the child.
No, I'm saying while the child is with her, he don't like when the three of them are together?
No, like if the child was solely with the mom.
Okay.
He don't like certain things. So, I mean, I don't know how many single men. Well, I don't know how many relationships that they co-parenting. So you have a dad, let's just say a dad that want to raise their kid Muslim, and you have a mom that want to raise her kid Christian. That's just the way them two live. You know what I mean? That don't mean that that's your complaint. Like you can't say, well, I don't like that. He don't want my son to eat pork. You can't say that's a complaint. That's just something that's his morals. That's the way that he was raised. So a lot of times that a lot of people get caught up in things like that.
Now I think religion's that'd be a big complaint.
Yeah, but I can't complain if this is the way that you live and we're not together. What you gonna do? Like one person had a kid 7 days. I got a friend that he got his son 7 days. His other girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend got the kids the other 7 days. Like what the kid gonna be if she was a Christian and he a Muslim? Like what's it gonna be? What can you complain about? You know what I mean? You can't complain about anything. I think at that point you just
about how you want your kid raised,
but you're not living in the house. Like I mean, the kid's not staying in one stable home. So I don't think at that point there's no way you could complain about that.
It may not be a resolution that'll make people happy, but you can complain about it. It's no different than like we had on the last podcast. She likes to have him play with dolls or something like that. You're not in the household, you can't really say what type of lifestyle you want your kid to have. If you have that type of mindset, if I don't want my son doing this, I'm gonna complain about it. If I don't want it, bottom line, if I don't want it, I'm gonna complain about it because only way we're gonna resolve it, especially if it's bothering me. If it's bothering me, I have the right to say, hey, you know what? I'm raised this type of way. I don't want my son eating pork, and I don't want him X, Y, and Z. Otherwise, she's just gonna do whatever she wants.
Oh, this one young lady said the Bible says the woman is supposed to give her body to her husband. I bet you everybody jump off this thing because she said that. They mess around and try to block her off of here. They gonna say, what is she crazy? Oh no, where that say that in the Bible? Or if they even follow it at all. I mean, a lot of people ain't listening to that.
Yeah, it does say that, but it depends if they're gonna follow it or not.
And what is, and it say the Bible says the woman supposed to give her body to her husband. What if the husband don't follow what goes on in the Bible? I wish she could reply back to that. If her morals is to do that, but he don't follow that, then how's that going to work?
It really can't, because that means you got the wrong type of man for you.
Well, obviously, I mean,
Because you can't be drug free and be with a junkie. They're gonna do their own thing. So if you follow by the Bible and he doesn't, like you just.
I think you could be drug free and be with a junkie. I've seen it all too often. I've seen it too many times.
And still watch that person do their drugs, like I don't know.
No, I mean, well, they trying to, obviously.
No, I mean, really be with a person. Like I know people who mess with chicks, but I mean, it's like you, because I've seen a lot. You see them ODing and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of relationships break up like that. Like I couldn't be with her because she almost died in my arms from ODing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see people that that's kind of like that's.
I see people trying to help, but.
Yeah, I mean, because some people can't just walk away from it. I mean, from...
That's what I said, me too, down K&A.
Yeah, it's bad down there. But just tell me, like, I want to see in the comments, like, something that a woman complain about and what a man complain about. Because it's not like marriages is strong. It's not like marriages is... like the best thing in the world, like number statistic wise, is a lot of people that's getting divorces. So where are the things that women complain about? I hear women complain, like Rod said, I do hear women complain about money, but it's like me, like it's different. Not complaining about money like, oh, I want your money. Complaining about money, meaning, oh, we don't have any, and you ain't getting enough of it to maintain our lifestyle. So a woman complain, hold up, let me just rewind that. Here we go. How can a woman complain about something that they ain't even qualified for themselves? Women, most of the time, women complain about how are you gonna complain about your man not having like a credit score to get a car when you don't have a credit score to get a car? I wish that, okay.
Well, you still can want what you want. Like,
I mean, you can
have an expectation for somebody, and
I think
together with them.
I think that's terrible. If you have expectations for somebody and you don't have none for yourself, you're a bum.
Nah, that doesn't necessarily mean you have none for yourself.
Well, if you have expectations for somebody and you're not willing to put in some form of that work, like, so say for instance, I can't have expectations for my kid being a better reader if I'm not willing to help my kid be a better reader. That makes I can't say, oh, I want you to have a business and I'm not willing to put the work in to build the business. You're a bum. If you want something, you're gonna have to do something. You can't just say, I expect this. You can't say, I expect this from my man, and you're not willing to do nothing. It's crazy. A lot of women do that. A lot of women do that.
You can have expectations because you gotta have a certain like baseline of requirements to begin with for a person.
Hold on. So a woman can have a requirement.
Both sides. I'm just.
Well, when we talking about women, we talking about a woman right now. So a woman can have a requirement and not have requirements for herself. That's what you're saying.
No.
What are you saying?
That you're saying like you can't require somebody to do this and not do something.
Right. How?
I'm saying you can when you're first in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have that to begin with. Like that's what make it seem like.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter when you get in a relationship. The moment that you require somebody to do something, you have to be willing. Like, there's no way that I'm going to say, Rob, I require you to, to run fast. Like, I'm asking you to run fast so we can play on the football team. And I just say that to you and walk away. I have to do something. Oh, Rob, here goes some ankle weights to get your legs stronger. I have to do something. I can't just say something to you and just walk away. I just believe that's a bum. If you're not gonna give me, if you just gonna say something to me and tell me to do it, and you don't have that in you, or have something in you so that I can go to the next level, because I'm not saying like to have a better credit score, like she need to be, have an A1 credit score. But if you want me to have a better one, then you need to put me and start putting me into the right places so that I can have a better credit score. You can't just say something like, oh, I want you to be skinny. And
yeah, when you say it like that and just walk away, but why do they keep, well, who's requiring something and just walking away?
Well, no, I mean, I got lost into what I was saying, but that's what I was saying at the beginning. Whatever I was talking about, and then I started kind of breaking off, trying to explain, like, that's a bum, and kind of lost that point. But what is some of the things that women complain about? What are some of the things that a woman complain about? Like, I mean, like if you was around a woman, or you know, your mom or your sisters, or you know, I mean anything. Like, what is something that a woman would complain about in their relationship? We said money, we said sex, we said just being comfortable and just in general, like cooking and stuff like that.
A lot of times I hear just about the child. Like there's a lot of people I know aren't on the same page when it comes to raising their children, and some women can't submit because there's been a lot of women like, yeah, my boyfriend want to do X, Y, and Z with our son or daughter, and I don't agree with it, and it's like, well, I can't tell them that. Well, I can, but I just never do. Like, I agree with your boyfriend, and he's the head of the household. Like, if it's a bad idea, then you need to tell him that it's a bad idea for whatever reason. But if you just I know so many women that just want things done their way. I think, as a matter of fact, I think somebody put that up there. They want things done their way, which is a problem because you can't be in a relationship with somebody who want things done your way.
Well, let's go back to what I was just saying. Like, you can't. That's like expecting somebody to do something and you're not willing to do. I can have it my way, and like, I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like, you can have something your way, but you leading that. Like, you leading that, having it your way. So if you want your whole house knocked down, you're going to have to start putting your money in to finding the people that want to get knocked down. You can't just say, well, this is what I want, and then just kind of like walk away. That's what I think what I was trying to hit on.
But I think when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's rarely your way when it comes to things because it affects the other person, whatever you do. So if you wanted to not, even if I was the one that be like, you know what, I have the money to rearrange this whole house, she gonna feel some type of way if I just did everything on my own. So that's why I said, you know, you can't just do things your way on your own and not have the respect for the other person and their opinion.
No, that's true.
Because then they just gonna feel neglected, and then that's gonna be a complaint. I feel neglected in this relationship. I feel like you're doing things on your own. It's almost like you don't even need me.
I think a lot of the problem is, like, even if a person have a complaint, it don't matter at this point, like if it's the male or the female, they not listening. Like, they not listening to fix it. Sometimes people be just like, that's just small, that's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you kind of flag it and move on. A lot of people don't listen to what a woman complaints are, and a lot of men don't listen to women, and a lot of women don't listen to men. So when that happens, you're gonna have a bunch of issues because now it's just a bunch of people that's just not listening to each other. It don't matter how minute it is, just listening to it. Like, oh, okay, well, you never take me out on a Saturday. Like, are you serious? But we go out every Wednesday, and you're gonna complain about sex, but Saturday must be something special. So why can't you just take her out Wednesday, or take him out Wednesday and take him out Saturday, or just swap the dates, switch the days? You don't have to go out on Wednesday, go to Saturday. So a lot of people would just be just missing it. I mean, a lot of time with me, I listen. I'm not saying that I'm good at it, like meaning like whatever she say that I'm going to do. It's because, like, sometimes, this is my opinion, I think when she have her mind made up on something, she be thinking that's where her mind is. Like today, she probably want to do this, and then we can focus solely on that, and then she'll just switch it up and then want to do that now. Like, wait, no, you just made me put all my time, my efforts into that. Like, which one you want to do? Oh no, I want to do this now. So I mean, you're gonna deal with that type of stuff too. So sometimes I said that on one of the podcasts before that women don't know what they want. That's just my opinion. They just go by what do they really want. You know what I mean? You say you want a good man. So if you want a good man, I seen one young lady said that a man is looking for the wife is looking for the husband to lead. So if that's the case, right? Why are you complaining about sneakers that's sitting on the floor? Just move them. If you talking about you have a good man, this is the things that bothers me. Like when I hear certain things, like wait, so you telling me it's just a pair of sneakers on the floor? Some things are so small, you can just kick the sneakers, throw the sneakers upstairs, throw them down in the basement, and just move on. But no, they got voiced their opinion, or they gotta raise their voice and let that man know that they not going for it, and they want to be up in your face, and they want to let you hear it, they want to let you have it.
I think that's too much, but I think if you're leaving your sneakers on the floor, you should be able to be said something.
But even if you leave it every single time, so what? Is it about the sneakers on the floor, or is it about peace? Because if he leaves the sneakers on the floor so many times, how many times you gonna complain about it?
As many times as leave the sneakers on the floor.
But now you just complaining. It's because it's obviously nothing going to change. So do you want to keep the peace, or you want to keep complaining about something that's just so small?
If the man's leading, and part of keeping peace is on his end too, like how hard is it?
He's not doing anything that's disrupting peace. He's just leaving a pair of shoes that's in the middle of the floor. The peace comes from, I mean, now if he respond back to her negatively.
Yeah, but the shoes don't go in the middle of the floor though. That's a definite. Like that's not the place for the shoes. Especially, I mean, we don't know, but what if there's a shoe rack upstairs, or if she keeping her shoes at a certain place?
They went on.
If she keeping her shoes at a certain place, then why can't he do the same?